Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Ramblings Middle-earth strategy battle game battle reports. Today's battle pitches noble Rivendell against the hordes of Moria. Two of Rivendell's finest, the two twin sons of Elrond, have marshalled their forces to face off Durburs, Groblog and their horde of goblins and trolls. Leading the forces of Rivendell are the twins Eladan and Elrahir, and never knowing which is which will differentiate by hair colour, and it will be the ginger coloured twin that will be our leader for today's battle. They are atop horses and have heavy armour, and they're leading 4 warriors with shield, 2 with bow and 2 with shield and spear. Leading an identical warband is a captain with a lance, shield and horse, and that is 450 points of Rivendell. Leading the excursion from Moria is Durburs, and he has with him 10 goblins with shield and 10 with spear, and also a mighty cave troll. Along with Durburs there is Groblog, and he has an identical warband of 10 goblins, 5 with shield, 5 with spear, and another cave troll. And then finally a captain with shield and 6 goblins with bow, and that is 450 points of Moria goblins. You may notice that these 2 cave trolls are conversions. They are made from tin foil and green stuff, and there's a video on the channel that I'll link in the description below if you're interested in how these were made. This is the table for today's scenario, and we're going to be playing a battle company scenario called Claim the Treasure. It's a little bit similar to Heirlooms of Ages Past. There are 6 objectives, but they're deployed in a ring. And each of these objectives, once picked up, becomes a light object. So the teams have to pick up these objectives, keep them safe and with them until the end of the game. This game runs until one side has been reduced to 25%, and then at the end of that turn the game will end, and the side with the most objectives in their possession will win the game. So the board is already set up, the models are already deployed. Let's roll for turn 1 priority. Good using green dice and evil using red, and priority there goes to Moria. Start of the movement phase, and the Moria Goblin Captain, the model there with the banner, is going to be calling a heroic march. And the elves are not going to call anything. End of turn 1 movement. The goblins have charged forward with the heroic march, allowing an archer and a troll to claim an objective, with the right hand side force moving slightly slower and unable to claim their objective. The elves, neither the left nor the right, were quite quick enough to be able to claim an objective. They'll get those next turn, while this archer has moved half and has been able to pick up an objective. Let's go into the shoot phase. The goblin over there in the distance who picked up the objective only moved half because of the march. He was able to move 4 and still shoot. So he is going to take a shot at the general there for the elves. He's moved, so he's hitting on 6s, and it's a 2. It was always a bit of a long shot, but it's worth having a go. So he has missed, and then we'll go into the elf shooting. So this objective carrying elf, he stuffed it in his pocket, and he's going to take a shot at the archer there that he's got a clean shot on, but he misses on a 1. This chap has also moved, but he's got a shot hitting on 4s up there, and he misses as well. That's not very good, is it? We then come across, and we've got these 2 elves, and they are just going to fire into the cave troll. Again, they've moved, so they're hitting on 4s, and they both miss. Every single shot there across the board has missed. There's no fighting, so we'll roll for priority. Turn 2 priority goes this time to the forces of good. End of turn 2 movement, and to avoid being jumped on, the elves have advanced cautiously. They have formed a wall off these 2 pieces of terrain to try and anchor one flank, while the archers have largely stayed still to take shots. Their heroes hanging back, ready to charge, with this twin hoping to steer the goblins away from trying to take that flank, and he's been successful. In the goblin move, they have all just congregated towards the centre, and they're going to try and overwhelm with numbers. All of the objectives have now been picked up, with a spearman and 2 archers for the elves. This archer at the back there for the goblins, the troll, and Groblog. The lines are going to be clashing probably next turn, but first it is turn 2 shoot phase. We'll start off with this elf. He's going to shoot the goblin with the objective right at the back. He's going to have a couple of in the ways, but he misses. Dear me. Then these 2 are going to shoot the troll again. Oh, this time they hit 2 6s. 6s to wound. Can they do it again? That's a 2 and a 3. Their arrows do not hit the mark. Evil shooting, and these 5 goblins are going to try and thin the rank of these elves. Ooh, they get 4 out of 5 hits, hitting on 5+. Wounding on a 6. Oh, that is unbelievable shooting. 2 kills. We'll whip those 2 straight out, and that is 2 less elves. That is absolutely massive there for the goblins. Can this goblin here continue the streak? He's going to take a long shot there at the elven leader's horse. He does hit. Does he go through the statue on a 4+? Yes. Horse or rider? It's the horse. 5+ to wound. Oh, the horse is still alive. That was very, very close work there from the objective carrying goblin there, but still incredible shooting from the goblins, putting the elves to shame, killing 2 elven warriors. End of turn 2, and after the arrows of the goblins have found their mark and left the objective carrying spearman now quite open to the tender ministrations of that troll, let's roll for turn 3 priority. And it goes to evil. end of turn 3 movement, and with evil priority, they have charged in. The Durbers and the goblins have charged into the elven shield wall, and the troll, even with the responsibility of carrying an objective, he has decided to just plough straight in as well. The rest of the goblins here formed a bit of a wall. The archer and the captains have come in, although the goblin archer with the objective is hiding at the back. And then here, the troll has charged into the remnants of that shield wall, those that survived the lethal barrage of goblin arrows, and has been protected somewhat by a goblin shield wall. The elves, with very little to play with on this right-hand side, have charged the captain in, along with the bowman, to form a bit of a wall for next turn, and have made sure that all 4 are engaging that troll. They've not got fight value there, but as long as they can win, they'll survive against that troll. And then along the line here, the general charged in to the goblin wall, leaving the other twin to try and take down that objective carrying troll and to claim it for himself. Then the 2 archers with objectives have just retreated to safety. Start of the combat phase, and the elves are going to go all out. This captain is calling a heroic combat. The general is calling a heroic combat, and this other twin as well is going to be calling a heroic strike to be able to beat the troll in combat. So we'll start off with the heroic combats, and we'll start off with this captain over there. He's got 3 attacks on the charge against 4 goblins. Oh, if we can gather enough dice. Oh, and the captain absolutely bottles it on a 2 high. The captain loses. That is not even remotely what Rivendell needed there. Oh, that is unfortunate, and a waste of a point of might. They're going to go after his horse. So the first chap, the first one on his horse doesn't kill. Second one, no. Third one, no. Oh, he's absolutely fine. The goblins so surprised that they survived that charging knight captain, they failed to do anything. The fact that any of them are still alive is a miracle. So we'll come across, and we've got another 4 goblins there against, again, 3 attacks on the charge from that twin. Can he roll any better? Oh, yes, but not by a lot. That is abysmal work. A 4 high. He's committed. He is going to have to spend a point of might to draw the fight. That's 2 might off that twin, but he has 1. He's wounding on 5, so the first double strike doesn't kill. We'll keep those though in case he needs to burn more might, but that would be crazy. Oh, there we go. So he's killed 1. Last double strike to kill the other, and he gets him. So he has, we'll just shimmy him back for a second to get these out. He's killed those 2, and he's able to carry on the charge and hit the 2 spearmen. So at least that has gone off. And then there are no more heroic combats, so we'll stick with him. We'll do his 3 against the 2 goblins. And this time he gets a 6. He's 1. First guy, he's now wounding on 4s because they're only defense 4. He kills. And not on the second. But his last set does. He's taken out 4 goblins there. Punched a hole straight through the line. That is a good heroic combat to offset the abysmal heroic combat. We'll stay over here with the troll. We'll do the troll against 4. Oh, the troll gets the 6. The elves do as well. In fact, they get 2. But the troll has the fight value. He's fight 6. Those elves are in a little bit of trouble there. The troll, he could potentially barge and try and get on the objective. We're going to just double check if he can do anything with a barge. Yes, the troll is going to barge because he gets to choose where the guys go. So he's going to force this guy back 3 inches. So he goes back 3 inches, pushing the spearman with him. And then this guy goes across this kind of direction, pushing him out of the way. And that then frees him up to advance. We'll see how far he goes, although it's irrelevant. Oh, he can go a massive 5, but that's within 1 inch. So he's charged in on the guy with an objective, who is definitely going to shield. The troll needs to get this. He wants to kill him, and he does. 5 takes the win, so he's now going to be smashing this guy up. He's strength 6 against defense 6, which is 4s, but he's got that big 2-handed hammer, or a 1.5 hammer, but he's always going to be using it 2-handed because he's burly. Well worth 5 points to get +1 to wound, so he's wounding there on 3s, and he's killed the elf and takes the objective. Smashed his way straight through the shield wall, scattering the elves and taking an objective. That is a good play there from the cave troll. We'll come across from one cave troll to the other, and it is the twin and friend against the cave troll with an objective. So the strike for the twin takes him up to fight 8. That is high enough. It's not high enough to be able to feint, but it's high enough to win the fight on a draw. So we'll let the troll set the bar. Oh, he gets a 5. That's passable, but probably not good enough. So the twin gets the 6. The twin has 1. So then the elf wounding on 6s. Oh, gets a 5. So close. And then a twin needing just 5s to wound. Oh, 2 wounds. He's going to use a point of might there to kill the troll. That is massive. The troll goes down and the objective goes to the elf on foot. This elven hero here, either Eladan or Elrahir, I never know which is which, doesn't have expert rider, so he can't pick it up, but he is able to allow the chap in combat to pick it up from the fallen cave troll. That was a massive swing there from the hero. With just 2 points of might, he's managed to kill a troll and take an objective. That is a good play. Just as good as the troll on the other side. They've pretty much swapped over elves and Moria as to who is killing who. We'll continue though. We'll do this 2-on-1, and the goblin is going to shield. It goes to the elves, so needing 5s. They kill him. We then come across 2-on-2. And again it goes to the elves on 6s. This is where all the 6s have gone. And they kill with 2 more 6s. Unbelievable. They are carving through. The next combat that we have then is a goblin and Durbers against... Oh, in fact, completely wrong. A goblin and Durbers in red. And then the shielding elf in the green. And again, the elf wins with double 6s. The elves have really picked it up on this left-hand side and are carving their way through. That was an impressive turn. Definitely a game of 2 halves for the left flank and right flank. Let's roll for turn 4 priority. And it goes once again to evil. Start of movement for turn 4. And with evil priority, this captain is calling a heroic move, which is going to be countered by Groblog. And then over here, the ginger twin, the leader, is going to use his second point of might for a heroic move. And this captain is going to use his last point of might to counter. So we'll see who is going to go first. 1, 2, 3, it's evil. 4 plus, it's good. And it goes to good. So here is sort of fire control, just trying to hold the line. They're unlikely to kill that troll and be able to stop themselves getting overwhelmed. So if they've got to choose, it's got to be here really to punch through and keep this objective safe. So they're going to choose to go first with the leader, and we'll come back after movement. of the movement phase, and with the heroic move going off for the elves on the left, they've charged in. The elven leader against these two. The infantry have gone in over there, tying up the captain and allowing the brown-haired twin to charge into the goblin leader. The objective carrying swordsman backed off, but he had to stay within 6 inches of the leader who called the heroic move, so he's not been able to go too far. Then over on the right, Groblog's heroic move allowed the troll and a couple of guys to get in on the captain, and all over, managing to tie up the elves. They didn't manage to get any traps, aside from obviously the captain, but they definitely have the numbers advantage on that flank. There will be some shooting, so we'll come back with the shoot phase. And the shoot phase will be these 5 goblins shooting into this combat to try and take out the elven leader. Hitting on 5s. Oh, another good volley. They get 3 hits. Oh, just knocked that 6. 3 hits. So, friend or foe. Oh dear, 2 hit the goblins. 1 hits the hero. So 2 on the goblins. Do nothing there. And then horse or rider hits the rider, needing 6s because he's defense 6. No wounds there. All of those shots fail to do anything, and there are no elven shots, so it is the combat phase. Start of the combat phase, and Durbers and the elven lord there are both going to be calling heroic strikes. It's the elf's last point of might, but Durbers first. He has been much more conservative with might than the elves have. We'll do that roll off now. Oh, and Durbers goes to fight 9, but the elf is fight 10. That is good news there for the elf. We'll do that fight now, actually. So it is, oh dear me, just chucking that everywhere. So the elf with 3 on the charge only gets a 3 high. That's not good. And then 2 for Durbers, only a 4 high, and his friend. Oh, but in fact, that elf is out of might. So he loses there. Even with the fight value, he loses. We then take strikes. So Durbers, his first strike will be against the horse, needing 4s. Just a 3. And he's going to spend a point of might to take out the horse there. He's then going to strike the man, needing 6s. Fails again, and then it is 6s from the spearman. No, so he is pushed back and then thrown rider because he's been dismounted. Oh, and he takes a wound. Will he take... So he takes a hit rather. Will he take a wound? No. He has just backed away, but now he is prone on the ground. We'll find his dismounts. So we've put his dismount in. He's now out of might and prone on the ground. Not good there for the twin. Well, we come across to a much better fight for the elves, which is 3-on-1. Spearman looking in trouble. Yes, he loses the fight. 3 elves now making strikes, needing 5s, and they get him twice over. Another goblin falls. We then have the captain, so it's a 2-on-2. And it definitely goes to the elves, a 5 and a 3. Wounding on 6s. That's cocked. A 2. The captain backs away. He is fine. We then have charging leader, and he is against 2. It's a spearman and a swordsman, so they can't shield. They are just going to fight it. And they win. They draw, so they lose. They've definitely not got the same fight value as either Eladan or Elra here. So first, he's going to be on the spearman, needing 4s. Doesn't kill him. Neither on that strike. Or that one. Oh, that is abysmal. Those two are just pushed back. We'll put prone markers on them in a minute. He may have won the fight, but he failed to kill 2 goblins. Either of those 2 goblins. That is not good there. And then we come across to the carnage over here. And we will start off with the captain because he's trapped and it's goblin priority. So, oh dear, just destroy everything. So it's going to be these 4 goblins because he is going to be paired off against that goblin. So it's 4 goblins and the cave troll for 7 attacks against the 2 from the captain. The captain needs a 6 here. Oh, he's got a 5. Hopefully enough. Oh, it's definitely not. That is not good. With the troll and goblins winning the fight, he is now going to be taking a lot of strikes. So it's going to be 8 strikes from the goblins, needing 6s. They do nothing. So it's all down to the troll. He is wounding on 6s on defense 7, so 5s, but down to 4s because he's barely 2-hand. So he has 6 attacks. We drop that one. 6 attacks because the enemy is trapped. And he has smashed him up with 3 wounds. He's only got 2 wounds, 1 fate. So the goblins back away and they have killed that captain. The troll absolutely rinsing the elf there. No chance that he was going to survive. This troll has been an absolute beast. Less said about the other one the better though. So then we'll do this fight here. It's a 1-on-1. The elf is going to fight and win on a 1. Good work, elf. Can he get a 6 this time? Yes! From a 1 to a 6. He spins and cuts the goblin's head off. That's what we like to see. We then have this fight here. It's a 2-on-3. That goblin in a little bit of trouble. In fact, yes. So a 2-on-3. The goblins wanting to get high, but not doing it at all. And then taking wounds on 5s. Yes, a 6 and a 6 will definitely kill the goblin. We then have 2-on-1, and that elf will shield. Just needing to survive on this flank. And he's definitely won against the goblins' double 1s. The goblins definitely don't know how to fight in this game, but the trolls most certainly do. So that is all of the combats. This is how we're looking at the end of turn 4. Both sides have 3 objectives each, and both sides are racking up the kills, with the goblins holding the right and the elves the left. Let's roll for turn 5 priority. And this time it goes to the elves. The cave trolls interrupt this video to say, "Roar!" which loosely translates as please like, comment and subscribe. Turn 5 movement, with priority going to the elves. Groblog is using his 2nd point of might to call a heroic move. With only 1 point of might left on the board, the elves are not going to counter. End of the move phase, and Groblog's heroic move allowed him to charge, or at least to move so that his friends could charge into the enemy leader, although they've been mercilessly counter-charged, but it does stop him at least from getting the charge bonus, and it's got some of those archers into combat. But more importantly, down here, it's allowed a lot of traps, and the troll has been able to get into 2, and then these 2 that weren't in the move but had no one to tag them up have been able to join in and just try and get as many traps as possible. With Elven priority, they can probably mitigate some of those traps, but at least some will go off. Then up here, the elves have charged. The Goblin King has been charged, but he's not been overwhelmed because there were so many on the Elven leader that some of those numbers have countercharged, tying up the goblins rather than going after the king, just to try and protect their own leader. And then finally, the objective elf ran back to be with his fellow objective elves away from the battle. So that is the end of the movement phase. We'll go into the shoot phase. These 3 goblin archers are going to be shooting into the elven leader, hitting on 5s. That is 1 hit. Friend or foe? Oh, that's cocked. It hits the elf. It hits the man, needing a 6. No, he's absolutely fine. Shrugs that off, and we go into the combats. Start of the combat phase, and Durbers is going to be calling a heroic strike. We'll come back to that though. We'll start off down here, where the elves are going to try and use their priority to their advantage and do the fight in an order that will limit the impact of the traps. So first off, it's a one-on-one here, which will hopefully free up this chap. So a one-on-one, the elf really needs to win. Oh, and he loses. Goes down on a 6, on a 5 rather, but that 6 is definitely enough. So the elf is dead. That's not at all what he wanted. Next off, we'll do the troll. That will free him up. So the troll against a shielding spearman. The spearman does not have what it takes and is pushed back. He's then being wounded on 4s and gets smushed by the troll. And then this chap is trapped. He's only fighting the 2, but he... oh, yeah, he's going to shield. He wins with the shielding. 3 apiece and a 6 apiece. So he pushes them back. We'll just separate those so we know they're not fighting. And then the bowman is going to take 4 guys. He's probably going to lose because he can't shield, so he's at least going to take 1 for the team and allow that guy to just fight 2. So that is 4 on 1. And, oh, I thought he'd won then. He has lost. And he is dead. That is nasty there. But this guy does have to back away because they have trapped their opponent, which frees him up. So he is going to risk it, and he is going to fight it to see if he can kill some of these goblins. He just loses to the goblins getting a 6, and then it's a 6 to wound. He's fine. He's got that heavy armor and shield, so it's a 6 to wound him. He's nice and safe, but he does not have many friends left on the right-hand side. We'll then come across to the centre and the left. The elves will do this fight first. It's that spearman against a shield warrior. Shield warrior wins, but does not kill. So, oh, in fact, it's the spearman who backs away. So we'll chuck him over there. And then have a one-on-one here. Both fighting normally, but this time the antics of the goblin wins, and he needs a 6 to kill. No, not quite. Pushes him back. We then have 2 on 2. It's those 2 goblins against the enemy leader, and they are going to stab. Oh, but they lose the fight, and they are getting wounded on 4s, and both die. Both of those goblins killed by the twin there. Their stabbing damage never coming into play because they died too quickly. And then it's a 2 on 2 because that's the goblin captain who loses the fight there. That banner obviously is just for show, as goblins can't have banners, especially not captains. But it's a 6 to wound him, and that 4 is not enough. So he backs away, and then we'll do this fight first because Durbers is trapped, and it is elven priority. So Durbers' heroic strike is a 1. Takes him just a fight 5, so he's not got the fight value here. It's 2. Oh, in fact, no, it's 3 attacks. Because when the twin is on foot, he gets an extra attack. And he wins there. They both get the 6. But despite heroic striking, he still doesn't have the fight value and has lost. So these strikes now are wounding on 5s. And they are doubled because he is trapped. 1 wound. Oh, 2, 3 wounds on Durbers. That is nasty. I believe he's got 2 fates, so we'll roll those. Both failed. And that is Durbers, king of the goblins, slaughtered. Then the final fight is this 1-on-1. And he goes to the elf. Can he kill him? No. The goblin backs away. But that is still a bad turn there for the goblins, losing their king. End of turn 5 and both sides are racking up the kills. Let's roll for turn 6 priority. This time it goes to the forces of evil. End of the move phase, and the forces of Moria have largely left the right-hand side. They've just tagged that elf, and then this one has been surrounded as the dwarves have made a move towards the centre, with the troll and some goblins heading towards the centre to try and overwhelm the elves, who are holding strong on the left and the centre. Groblog's got stuck in there against a currently trapped elven leader, although the rest of the fights are definitely not in the favour of the goblins. The 3 objective carriers for the Rivendell force have all pulled just a bit further back. The archers moving just 3 so that they'll be able to shoot. But before they do, it is evil shooting, and these 3 bowmen are going to take a shot straight in at the enemy leader, past Groblog. Ooh, 1 hits. Friend or foe. It hits Groblog square in the back, but it doesn't wound him. So that is the evil shooting. We then have some good shooting. We have these 2 bowmen into the cave troll. Hitting on 4s because they've moved, they both miss. Following up the usual trend of useless elven shooting. Start of the combat phase, and Groblog will be heroic striking. Before we get to that though, we'll start off down here with a simple 1-on-1. It goes to evil, looking for a 6 to kill. No kill. He backs away. We then have 4 against a shielding warrior. And the shielding elf wins, pushing the goblins back. We then come across to a 1-on-1 there. And the goblin loses to an elf who only rolled a 2 high. Fortunately doesn't die. He backs away, still keeping the trap. We'll then do this one here. It's the captain against 3. And the captain is going to shield against those 3 elves. So the captain will have 4 dice. Oh, and he loses. The elves now going to make double strikes. They are wounding on 6s, but that will be 6 attempts to get the wound. Nothing there. And nothing there. They all back away. And that captain is laughing. We'll then do this fight here. 3 for the twin on foot against the spearman. Twin easily wins. He's against a defense 4. spearman, so he's wounding on 4s and he kills that spearman. And then we will do this fight here. We'll leave that one as with goblin priority. They are going to want the Groblog fight first. Oh, and we'll roll for his crown. It does go off. So he has +1 fight value, as does everyone around, but it wouldn't have really mattered for anyone else. So he's now fight 4. And then he has trapped his enemy to make him fight 5. And then his strike takes him up to fight 6, so he will faint. He has 2 attacks against 2 from the elf. And he has won. He's won that there. There's nothing the elf can do, so he now has double strikes. He's going to go for the elf. He's wounding on 5s. If he could get a flash kill, that would really, really help the goblin situation. Oh no, he's done 1 wound, so that's better than nothing. The elf is just going to take that because there's no VPs for leader wounds or kills. In fact, there's no VPs at all in this game, as it's a battle company scenario. It is all about the win or lose based on objectives. The final fight then is this 1-on-1. Who's gonna win? It's the goblin, needing a 6. No, just a 2. The elf backs away, and that is the end of the turn. End of the turn, and it is absolute carnage, with both sides edging closer to their break point. Let's roll for next turn priority. And it goes to evil. Goblin priority, but instead of sweeping in the movement phase and trapping those elves, the ginger twin is going to use his last point of might for a heroic move. End of that heroic move, and the elves have charged in. They are looking to try and break the goblins as quick as they can. But crucially, this warrior here failed his courage test to tie up the troll. Which means the troll can now position himself wherever he wants, and he is going to advance just here and line up a hurl onto the elven leader. So that was a very unfortunate courage test to fail there from that elf. We'll come back after the goblins have moved. Goblin move, and again they've just tagged these 2 here and sent everything to the centre where it matters and where they've got 2 objective holders fighting in the trenches. Then over here, the elven objective carriers have all legged it, just on the off chance that the troll barged, got a 6, and then priority and managed to charge. The odds were extremely unlikely, but they've legged it just to make sure that can't happen. They are now very, very safe unless they break and run. So this is how we're looking. There's going to be no shooting. We'll go straight into combats. We'll start off on the right, and this goblin is going to shield against the elf, who's going to fight it and win. And then wounding on a 5, fails to wound, and the goblin backs away. We then have the same thing again, shielding goblin, but the elf wins. Wounding on 5, kills him. 1 goblin down there on the right. We'll then come up and we'll do this 4 on shielding elf. So 4 goblins against a shielding elf here. And the goblins lose. That is not good there for the goblins, but very good for the elf. They back away. Elf lives to fight another day. We'll then do Groblog. Groblog against the charging elf captain, hero, you know what I mean, leader, if we can get our words right. He only gets a 5, so Groblog could win. He has 2. No, and he's got a spear support that gets a 6. That is incredible work there from the little spearman that could, who's hiding there behind the rocks. He has won. So Groblog is going after the horse. He is going to be wounding it on 4s. No. No. And then it's 5s for the spearman on the horse. No. He backs away. Absolutely fine. The next fight then will be up here. We'll do the captain against the twin. The twin definitely wins that. And he's wounding the captain on 5s. But no wound. That captain has done nothing, but he's also not died. We then have this shielding chap on 2. And he wins, pushing the elves back. And then we have this fight here. It's 2 against a... he's not trapped, so he's going to fight it. And he wins, looking for 5s to kill. No. So that chap backs away. Oh, he's not quite gone an inch. There we go. And then it is the troll. The troll and friend against a shielding elf. The leader hasn't been able to get far enough back to avoid a hurl, so he's hoping that the elf can roll high enough to avoid it. He's got the 6. Now he's only fight value 5 and the troll is a higher fight, but a 6 is a good bar there. So the troll and goblin also get the 6. So the elf, however good he is, could not withstand that. And so it is going to be a hurl. How far does he go? Oh, just a 1 inch plus the 3 inches of the strength difference there. So he's going back 4. He's actually going to smack into that statue. First off, though, he's going to hit those 2. So he takes 2 strength, 3 strikes, and the 6 kills him. So he is dead. Is the spearman dead? No, just... the horse is killed outright, and then he takes a wound as well. He takes a hit rather. It's a strength 3 hit, so it doesn't do anything. It needs to be a 6. And then he also counts as rolling a 1 on the throne rider, so he takes another strength 3 hits, but he is fine. So he's prone, but he is fine. So we'll find his dismount. We'll stick him there. We'll put a prone marker on him. So that was a fairly effective hurl there to try and break these elves. With both sides just 1 model away from breaking, this is going to be a very important priority roll. Who's going to take it? It goes to the elves. End of the movement phase, and the elves have charged in where they can, just trying to get kills to break the goblins. This elf managed to tie up the troll, and then just generally they have charged in, although the goblin counter charge has been quite brutal. The goblins have taken the elf hero off the Groblog fight, so he's unlikely to die now, Groblog, so he should keep hold of that objective. And then here, this elf has charged into a goblin, allowing this elf to come up and charge these goblins so that they couldn't help out the objective carrying Groblog, but then he's been counter-charged by another archer. And then up here, the goblin archer is coming towards the combat, which seems slightly backwards, but he is mainly trying to get towards a stand fast, because he, at Courage 2, is probably going to run if they break, and they are only 1 model away from breaking. There's no shooting, so we'll start the combat with this fight here. It's a 1-on-1. It goes to Evil, looking for a 6. That is just a 1. So he backs away. We then have a shielding elf against 3 who are not going to stab. They're just going to fight. They lose the fight. That's not good. The elf is fine and they all back away. He's going to back away so that he doesn't trap in Groblog. And we'll then do this fight here. It's another 1-on-1. That's cocked. To a 4 and it wins, needing a 6. No. Both sides just looking for 1 kill to break the other. Groblog on 1. Groblog. Oh, in fact, he is going to shield that elf. And it is enough to win the fight. That is shocking there. Pushing Groblog. Oh, pushing Groblog and his spear support back, actually. So we'll roll for the spear supports. And it was a 4. So he has won the fight, in fact. So it's Groblog rolling 5s to wound. And that's a kill. He has killed that elf. So with Groblog killing that elf and breaking the elves, there's now added pressure on Rivendell to break Moria. We will then do this fight here. It's 3-on-1. Although that is the elven leader who has 3 attacks on foot. And he wins the fight. He is going to be wounding... Oh, the wounding the spearman on 4s. He kills them both. And that has broken Moria. That is going to be a big thing there. Moria's courage is not well known for being good. We then have this captain who is going to fight it. He's brave. Oh, he shouldn't have been. He's lost the fight on just a 4. He's taking wounds on 5s and he's fine. He backs away. No problems there. Finally, oh, in fact, not quite finally, we've got this 1-on-1. It's a draw on 6s, so it goes to good. No kill. We then have the troll and friends against a shielding spearman. So that is 5 attacks. They win it on the draw there with the fight value of the troll. And then the troll is just going to smash into bits. Yeah, and that is the kill. 2 kills apiece. Both sides broken. With both forces broken, priority is going to be very, very important as we go into turn number, maybe 9-ish. And it's evil just there, rolling the 6. Even with priority, Groblog there, he's still only courage 3. So he is going to roll his courage and pass on 10, and he is going to play it safe and he's going to back into... Oh no, in fact he can't do that. If he does that, he's going to be miles away from the troll. He is just going to stay exactly where he is and just keep his stand fast for the troll, as long as the troll can see him. Yes, the troll can see him, although these 2 won't be able to. You have to be able to see the stand fast, but that's probably the best he can do. Then the other stand fast to do is this captain. We really need him, and he passes as well on a 7. So the captain is going to charge him, which means he is in 6. I've already measured that, so that keeps pretty much all the goblins in line, and then we'll come back after movements. In fact, it keeps every goblin in line because these 2 can see through those windows and can see Groblog, so they will get the stand fast as well. So the goblins have fully tied up everything here. Everything has been in their stand fast bubbles, except for this chap who will roll courage, and he passes. He charges in like an absolute beast, and that is every goblin there passing a courage test. I don't think that has ever ever happened. That guy is... Oh, he is going to move right round so that he'll be in with Groblogs as well, just in case. But importantly, he'll be out of line of sight of those archers. Speaking of those archers, every other model is engaged except for these three. And as they're broken, they need to take courage tests. So this guy's courage is absolutely fine. This guy, absolutely fine. And the other guy, also fine. They don't even need a courage value. They'd all pass at courage 0. They are very, very brave. So that is all of the moves. There's going to be no shooting. We'll go straight into the combat phase. And we'll start off with this fight here. So 1-on-1. It goes to Evil, needing a 6. No kill. He's backed away. We then have this 1-on-1. And again, amazingly, it goes to Evil, needing a 6. No, he backs away. We then have, oh, we'll do this one. The shielding elf against the captain and 2. So that is quite a lot of guys. In fact, we'll just see if Groblog's crown goes off, because that trap fight with the captain, they could get to fight 5. So on a 4+, the crown goes off. No, it doesn't. That would have meant everyone within 3 inches gets +1 to their fight value. Although, actually, I think the captain's probably too far away. So, shielding against the captain and co, but that is a 6. He's won it on fight value. We just knocked him with the dice. So, these guys all back away. And then the next fight, we'll do this one here. It's the shielding goblin against the brunette twin. Oh, and the twin loses and is backed away. Shielding goblin there, doubling his strikes but unable to make attacks. So it's a 1-on-1. Again, it goes to Evil. They've really upped the game this turn, but no kills. Then this big fight here, 4 and the troll against the elf leader. We'll set the bar with Evil, so it's 4. And then the troll getting the 6. So can he... So if he fights normally, he has 3 attacks. If he shields, he only has 4, because he can do a fake shield. He's going to go for the 3. Oh, but he doesn't win the fight. So trapped, he is in trouble. So it's 8 dice on 6s from the plebs. That's nothing there. And 1 wound there. And then the troll, who is wounding on 4s. 1 wound. So he's taken 2 so far. And then... Oh, 3 more. The troll alone doing 4. There's not enough fate or wounds there to keep him alive. And he is absolutely slaughtered. That is the elven leader dead. Both sides broken, both sides leaderless. This is an absolutely savage game. Let's roll for the next turn priority. And this time it goes to good. Good priority. This elf is incensed that his brother has been killed. Automatically passing courage tests and having to charge as close to the troll who got the kill as possible. So he's going to charge into this goblin here on his way towards his target. Then the elves around him, benefiting from his stand fast, will charge the targets that make the most sense, which is the captain and Groblog, stopping the goblins from getting a stand fast. There's just 1 chap left here. He is going to go after him, hoping that the troll will fail its courage test. And then there's a chap here. We'll do the courage test. He passes and he's in. And then it is the important courage tests for the elves with objectives. We'll start off with this bowman in the middle. He passes. That guy passes. And that guy passes. Absolutely no problems there. The goblins are going to try some courage tests of their own. Most importantly, the goblin with the objective. He passes! That little goblin has passed, and he is going to charge into combat with his captain. We'll then do this chap here. In fact, no, we'll do the troll, who also passes. Get in. What is he going to do? He is going to just charge into this guy, and then we'll do the rest off camera because it is quite dull just watching courage tests. After courage tests, these 4 managed to pass, which means the guy on Groblog has been trapped, and the troll combat is definitely even more favourable for the goblins, but 3 ran away. A spearman and some bowmen have legged it from the battle, bringing Moria quite close now to 25%. There is 1 shot. This chap here has a shot onto this spearman. He's not moved, so he's hitting. Oh, he's definitely on a 6. And then a 4, not enough to wound. Needed a 5. That nearly was the first elven bow kill. We'll start off on the right then with this more inconsequential fight. 1-on-1. Goes to evil, but doesn't kill. Story of the goblins' lives there. We'll then do Groblog and 2 against the elf there. Oh, we'll just see if his crown goes off. And it does. So he is fight 4 and then up to fight 5 for trapping his opponent. An opponent who is definitely shielding. And the elf loses. So 4 attacks from Groblog, wounding on 5s. And he's done it there. He's got a kill. So they back off. And that is another elf down. We'll then do this fight here. It's 3-on-1. He is going to fight it, because if by some miracle he wins, he could claim an objective. He doesn't win though. He's lost the fight. So the captain wounding on 5s. Gets in there on the 6. That elf is dead. And then it's a shielding guy against the 3 attacks from the elven hero. Oh, and again, shielding pushes him away, leaving just the troll fight. So it's the troll and 3 against a shielding guy. We'll let the elf set the bar on a 5. The troll gets the 6. The troll is then going to just smash into pieces on the 4. That is a very dead elf. That was an impressive turn for the goblins, who got 3 kills. End of the turn, and after that massive swing, the goblins have butchered nearly too many elves. The elves are 1 off quarter. They have taken an absolute beating. They just have 5 guys on the field. That hero, the warrior there, and then the 3 with objectives. The goblins are still a little bit off quarter. They've got nearly 10 guys left. So they are going to need to try and hold on, keep their objectives, and either play for the draw or hope that some elves fail courage. Let's roll for priority. And it goes to the elves. Enraged by his brother's death, the elven hero automatically passes courage and charges the goblin and the troll who killed his brother, which is unfortunate because a better move would have been to go up here and try and kill the objective. But you never know, he might kill the troll. So that is his reckless charge. We might as well do the elven courage tests. He has passed. And he is going to leg it up there. That's easily within 6. It's going to charge up, just getting closer towards the objective carrier. And then over here, importantly, we have these 3. So this bowman passes with flying colours. His friend fails, dropping the objective. And now, very important, it's him. Now, he can pick up the objective because you can have multiple, as long as he passes, and he does. So he picks up the objective, and now there are 2 carriers, but 3 objectives. So that is still okay for Rivendell. We then have the evil courage tests, and Groblog, he's going to take his courage test. Ooh, and fail. He uses a point of will to stay in the game, and then he is just going to charge into this elf. Oh, in fact, no, he's not. He's going to stay roughly central for his stand fast to get everybody. And then it's the captains. Oh, big failure there. The captain has gone. But Groblog should be in range of everyone there. We'll double check that and then we'll do their moves. Yeah, Groblog was in range of everyone important. Everyone has, everyone here has charged into the combat. And the objective carrier is hidden and got into base contact with someone. And then there's just this guy's courage. Oh, which passes. So we'll move him up. He is going to move 5 up. He's just going to leg it up towards the combat. And that is all of the moves. There will be a shot. It's this guy here. He stayed still. He's firing into the spearman. He hits. And he kills. That's the first kill to elven bowfire. They've still not killed as many as the goblins, but well done. Well done, little archer. We'll start the fighting here with a 1-on-1. It goes to the elf, and he kills the goblin. We'll then do the only other fight, which is this elven hero who's going to set the bar. He's got 3 attacks. He's got the 6. That's not bad there. We then have the troll and his 3 friends. So the troll also gets the 6. So it's going to be a roll-off. Just a 1 or a 2, it's evil. 3+, it's good because of the elven blade. Oh, it's a 2! Oh, even with an elven blade, he just cannot do it. Which is unfortunate, because if he'd somehow killed that troll, then he would have been in with a chance. So we'll do the goblins first. They need 6s to kill. That's 1 wound. So 1 wound from the goblins, and then the troll on 4s. 2 and 3 wounds. So he's taken 4 wounds. He's got 2 wounds to fate. And that is a dead hero. And that leaves just 3 elves on the board. 1 there. And then the 2 with objectives. And that is game over with the elves at 25%. So that is the end of the game. And it is a draw with 3 objectives to 3 objectives. The elves who got objectives and just ran away, and the goblins who got objectives and then charged right down their enemies' throats and took those objectives into combat. Moral victory definitely has to go to Moria. While, yes, it's 3-3, as we say, they took their objectives into the heat of battle and carved the enemy down, whereas the elves ran off with their objectives. And also, the goblins definitely pulled it out the bag there, smashing the elves to bits and quartering the elven force. Hope you enjoyed this game. I love doing battle company scenarios with matched play armies. I like the different way that the games play out compared to battle companies, and getting those different scenarios to the standard matched play 18 is always good fun. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.